President Biden is holding his ground regarding the comment that he made over the weekend that Vladimir Putin, quote, cannot remain in power. While speaking yesterday, the president clarified his remarks, saying that it is his personal opinion and not a new administration policy. Weijia Jiang has more.
I'm not walking anything back.
President Biden stood by his controversial comment about Vladimir Putin.
For God's sake, this man cannot remain in power.
Insisting the words were personal.
I was expressing the moral outrage that I feel, and I make no apologies for it.
And not a shift in U.S. policy toward a Russian regime change.
Nobody believes we're going to take down, I was talking about taking down Putin. Nobody believes that.
The president was asked if he was confident Putin himself saw it that way.
I don't care what he thinks. Look, here's the deal. He's going to do what he's going to do.
Putin's top spokesman called Mr. Biden's comment alarming and said only the Russian people will decide who is in power.
This is completely unacceptable. It's not for the United States president to decide who is going to be and who is the president of the Russian Federation.
He also issued a warning to NATO.
We do afraid of NATO's getting closer to our borders with its military infrastructure. Please take care of that. Don't push us into the corner.
All right, so we want to bring in Weijia Jiang now from the White House. So, Weijia, I got to ask you, the president says, listen, this wasn't an administration, a policy. This was just my personal opinion. But, he's not a guy at a coffee shop, just chit-chatting with the barista. He's the president of the United States. Cameras are rolling. I'm sort of curious about just, what more you can tell us about why he kind of made this clarification. And what are you hearing from inside the White House? Are you hearing from lawmakers about his attempt to clarify?
Well, Anne-Marie, you're absolutely right, but we know that this is something that the president often does. He says that he speaks from the heart. He says that he is speaking his personal opinions, and it's not the first time that his own words have got him into some sort of controversy because his words do not line up with the official White House messaging. And in this case, we saw how much he had to clean up yesterday, or at least try to clean up, because he didn't take anything back. In fact, you heard him just now saying that he was doubling down on what he was saying about Putin, but trying to make clear that, whatever he said on a personal level was not the same as changing U.S. policy. But there was one reporter who actually asked, Mr. Biden, you are the president of the United States. Can you understand why many people assume your words are, highlighting U.S. policy? And he said no, because nobody actually thinks that we're going to go out there and try to take down Vladimir Putin. Well, guess who is thinking that, or at least claiming that they think that? The Kremlin. And that is why other leaders have expressed some concern, because they are trying to hammer out a diplomatic response. And of course, now Putin can say, well, look what the U.S. president is saying. Why should I try to come to the negotiating table? Now, President Biden has dismissed that criticism that, his comments may provoke Putin even more. He also insisted that whatever he said did not weaken the NATO alliance and that it was, stronger than ever before. But to your point, Anne-Marie, let's remember that President Biden ran on, saying that words matter. Not only words, but words from the president matter, because he referred many times to his predecessor about, things the president should and should not say. He also, was claiming many times that he had so much experience in foreign policy, which he does. When you look at his experience and portfolio before he came here to take over the White House. And so that's why there are even more questions about why he sort of just, speaks his mind instead of sticking to the administration's talking points and messaging.
You know, not too long ago, I think Moscow, in sort of reaction to sanctions, said that they were going to be blocking some people from the administration from traveling to Moscow. And Jen Psaki kind of made a joke about it, like no one's planning on going there. But now we're hearing that Moscow is preparing to restrict entry into Russia from nationals of what they call unfriendly countries, the U.S. being one of them. You know, when I heard that, I actually thought about how the State Department had been warning Americans against traveling to Russia. I thought about Brittany Griner, who, you know, we haven't talked a lot about her situation, but, you know, she being arrested. So I'm curious about, you know, what does this mean, blocking people from unfriendly countries? What does it include?
Well, right now, the only thing we know is that it includes restrictions on visas for people who are trying to enter Russia. I think it's a lot more symbolic than practical because, as you mentioned, the list of people trying to go there right now may be shrinking given the conflict. But Russian officials said that this was in direct response to some unfriendly actions from unfriendly countries, which include all of the members of the European Union, the UK, the US, Japan, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, basically any country that has taken actions against Russia for invading Ukraine. Now there will be visa restrictions. But Anne-Marie, you know, Russia is very much on an island by itself. It doesn't have many friends. So this just further you know, makes the point that they don't care if they are by themselves and that they are going at this alone.
Weijia, thank you very much.
Sure.